Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am Abdullah Khan, and inshallah today is going to be the first episode of our history series, which inshallah we will sort of make videos on the Islamic history starting from the period of the Khulafa Rashideen all the way up to modern events. So until you could say around the 20th century, to begin the 20th century, the sources we'll be using is from this Atlas of the Islamic Conquests. This is a book that you can find at Dar es-Salaam, and Dar es-Salaam is known for being an authentic publisher. So this will be basically, we'll be taking, this is our source for up till you could say around the 20th century, the beginning of the 20th century. And so before now that we'll get into it, we'll first get into the apostasy wars. When the Prophet Muhammad passed away, and during the time of Abu Bakr, the first caliph. So after the Prophet Muhammad passed away, different tribes of Arabia, they had split, and a lot of people, they started claiming to be false prophets. So before Abu Bakr actually expanded the territory of Islam, first he unified Arabia. The most notable of these false prophets were Tulayha and Musaylim al-Kadhdhab, who was from Banu Hanifa. Tulayha, he was from Banu Asad, and he claimed to be a false prophet, but he was easily defeated. Now Musaylim, on the other hand, he was slight of a challenge. Abu Bakr sent two armies to him. One of them was commanded by Ikramah ibn Abi Jahl, who was a son of Abu Jahl, but he became a Muslim. And both of these armies were defeated. Now the third army that Abu Bakr sent, it was the army of Khalid ibn Walid. Khalid ibn Walid, he's someone who's known for not losing any battle throughout his military career, and he also did not lose this battle as well. So this battle, the Battle of Yamama, a few notable things you can take from this is, one, lots of the Huffaz were killed from this battle, and around 600, and even the brother of Umar, Zayd ibn Khattab, he was also shaheed in this battle. Now, an interesting story about this battle is that Musaylama, after he started to lose the battle, he sort of retreated to this small fort type of area, and so the gates, the Muslims were not able to breach the gates. So there's one Sahabi, he volunteered, and he sort of scaled, or you could say he sort of climbed the walls, and then he jumped down, and he himself single-handedly opened the gates, which when you're facing an entire army, it's not really a very easy thing to do. And another fact that you can take from this is, the one who killed Musaylama was none other than Wahshi ibn Harb radiallahu anh. And before Wahshi ibn Harb became a Muslim, he is the same person who killed Hamza radiallahu anh during the Battle of Uhud. He killed Hamza radiallahu anh, or he took Hamza radiallahu anh's life in order to gain his freedom, from his master. And this is the Battle of Yamama. After Arabia was unified, Abu Bakr radiallahu anh, he would then send Khalid ibn Walid radiallahu anh to Iraq, and he would send a few other armies to places like Syria. Among some of the commanders were people like Abu Ubaidah ibn Jarrah radiallahu anh. And so right now, before we actually go into Syria, we will focus on what happened in Iraq, and then we will go on to Syria. So Khalid ibn Walid radiallahu anh, and later on Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas radiallahu anh, they sort of went towards the Iraq side, where at that time the Sassanid Empire, or the Persian Empire, they had their rule over there. Now, because there was a discrimination between the actual Persian and the Arabs, Khalid ibn Walid radiallahu anh, he was able to sort of gain some support from some of the local Arab tribes. And so, and then when he was actually confronted by the Sassanids, he actually also defeated them. So one instance that happened was that, I believe it's called the Battle of Dhat Salasil, or the Battle of the Chains. Or what happened was, the Persian army, in order to sort of maintain discipline, chained their soldiers together so that they wouldn't be able to sort of run away, or so that they be in line. So Khalid ibn Walid radiallahu anh, he noticed this, and being the commander he was, he then utilized he mobilization tactics. So I think maybe we should use easier words. Basically, he sort of he took them around circles. So he would march to one area, and then the Persian army would march there, and then Khalid bin Walid would march another area. Because they were such heavily armored, the Sassanid army, they eventually got very tired, and they were very exhausted. And once they lost their will, they lost their another word you can use is morale. Once they lost this, Khalid bin Walid, then he attacked them, and them already being very exhausted, they were not able to really keep up with Khalid bin Walid, and they would get defeated. So this is what we'll cover today. Inshallah, next time we will go on. We will focus a bit more on Iraq, and then we will focus on what happened in Syria then. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.